The first few days were quiet and I was resting after all that madness. But then I went back into the learning mode again. I remember I was reading Raise Your Vibration by Calgary and focusing on myself again when I started to notice strange signs all of a sudden. The same hours, like 11:11 and 13:13 later on, and this is when it all truly began. Whilst reading that book, I realized that even prior to that, I used to get some synchronicities, especially when I met my future husband at the time. We used to see 2222 every single day. The same song would come on the radio too. Mystical vibes and experiences were always part of my life, but back then I hadn't really paid much attention to them at all, actually, as I didn't really know much about it. I was always very fascinated by the unseen world and unknown. I knew that there is so much more to our life and existence than we can explain. It was always somewhere there, but not in my life. I started to notice more and more signs spinning around me, like same numbers, same hours, feathers, butterflies, music, random posts on social media that seem to carry a special message just for me, and so much more. So my alertness expanded somehow. I was so alert and started to become aware of the subtle world around me. I always had questions about my path and my real journey. Why am I here and what am I supposed to do with my life? What's my purpose? But this time, in my mind, these questions were getting very loud and clear as I never before. They bothered me so much I couldn't settle. Neither my mind nor my heart was calm. I knew I had to do something important. I knew I was here to make a difference and make an impact on the world. And I knew I was here to change the world. I thought I had found the how through the water. But once I hit that first leadership rank and had rested a moment, I felt like there was something not quite there yet. I felt like something was missing. In the meantime, the signs got stronger and louder and more frequent, to the point where it started to ring my doorbell in the middle of the night. I remember well that first time it happened. It was a doorbell went off. It was way after midnight. Everybody was fast asleep, but I couldn't. I was watching Gaia when all of a sudden my doorbell went off. I got spooked. I mean, I didn't expect that at all. Wow. Who would way past midnight? I didn't want to wake anyone up. So I went to check it out. I looked through the windows, but there was nobody there. I stood there waiting by the window in case someone would open the gate and soon walk out from the front garden. But no, there was no one to be seen or heard for that matter. It was so silent outside. The night was so peaceful and quiet, even nature was fast asleep. My dogs, who sleep downstairs by the door, missed the doorbell too, strangely. So I went back to bed. About an hour later, it rang again. I jumped out of the bed, ran downstairs, checked what's happening, but yet again, no one was there. This time it was nearly 1:30 in the morning. I wasn't sure what was happening and why, but I knew it kinda spooked me. Next morning, I spoke to my husband and he never heard a thing. If you think that I had a dream, then know that it wasn't a dream because I wasn't sleeping. I was very much immersed in watching and learning about the energies and intuition and spirit. And from that event forward, my signs intensified even further. In the next few days, the doorbell started to ring during the day, not at night anymore, and also in situations as if it would confirm our words or as if it was participating in our conversations. I mean, every time we spoke about something important or relevant, it would ring. And as soon as I opened the door, there would be no one behind it. And the front gate would also be firmly shut. Oh, and interesting fact, our doorbell had like about 7 or 8 melodies, and the one that used to ring was completely different from the one that we had previously set up. These doorbell rings became so frequent that we even thought perhaps something was wrong with the thing. So we checked it and changed the batteries, but all was fine. It used to ring so often that I started to record the times on my phone just to see if I could find some sort of pattern in this one. But there wasn't any that I could see. And in the meantime, the questions in my head became even louder. What is my purpose? What am I supposed to do with my life? I gave a headache to my friends because I keep always bringing this up. I read and watched a lot, properly immersed in some sort of spiritual awakening or something. I wanted to find an explanation for what was happening in my life. I listened a lot of music as well, like Snatam Kaur, Ong Namo, my first spiritual song, in fact. And then I found Milan Song for Pure Heart. These were helping me to refine my inner light and love for music again. Used to be an inseparable part of my life, music, at some point. But somehow, slowly, it drifted apart bit by bit. I disconnected it myself from it. Science became next level. Not just the doorbell anymore. It actually started to rain in my house. And when I say rain, I mean quite literally. There were no burst pipes or any other explanation or reason why drop Drops of the water would fall on my hands on a perfect sunny summer day, and especially inside the house. And no, I was not the only one who saw this. I wasn't alone when that happened. There were other people with me, and we both saw it. Then, on another occasion, the same happened, and my dad saw it because they were visiting. and and he felt it too. He even said, "Where are these drops from?" Looking at the ceiling. And I just murmured, "It's raining in the house. Don't worry. It's all okay." Because this hadn't happened for the first time. Of course, we checked the ceiling and everything where it could potentially come from, but everything was as dry as a desert. Our minds couldn't really understand what was happening and why. All I knew was that I wanted answers and fast. And I wanted to understand what was going on and why these things were happening.